Antonia, thank you so much for letting us come out and join you here at the Cotuit Library.
Absolutely.
So much to talk about. The Cotuit Library is, one of the 7 village libraries, and I find them all to be very unique. What are some of the, most unique things that you think about Cotuit Library?
Well, one of the things that we do specialize in is tech help. So if you have computer issues or if you have issues with your mobile device, your tablet, you can set up an appointment here with our Programming Technology and Outreach Coordinator, Gus Aslanian, and he will give you half-hour sessions and you're allowed to come back. Plus, we also do an outreach program at the Barnstable Senior Center on Tuesdays at 1:30 during most of the year. We don't do it in the summer. And we offer classes on how to use Google Mail or Facebook for seniors. We will do individual tech help, 15-minute appointments for people to come in. So that way, people who can come to us easily, we can do it here. And if you can't make it to Cotuit, you have another opportunity at the Senior Center. And one of the things that we've been talking about with the director at the Senior Center is offering occasional evening versions of that class, because there are some people who can't make it during the day. So we're trying to make it more accessible for more people.
That's wonderful. I love that you partner with the Senior Center to offer that. I know as someone who has parents that are slightly technologically, not as advanced as some, I often get phone calls. How do I do this? How do I do that? So what a great tool here at the Cotuit Library, as well as being able to go to the Senior Center, be able to help them.
Yeah, and I always tell them, you don't have to remember everything that we've told you. Here's the card, you call us, here are the notes that we went over. And then I always say to them, I can teach anybody except for my mother. And maybe Gus feels the same way, but I'm not sure. You have to ask him.
Right. Along with that kind of technology, you also have been doing, which I think is great, over February vacation, you had coding camps, and you're going to be doing that again in April, as well as in the summertime, which I think is amazing, because it's such a huge thing now.
So this is our attempt to introduce technology or computational thinking to the much younger groups. So we even had kids as young as 4 last summer when we did it.
Wow.
And instead of having them in front of a computer doing, a lot of them are already familiar with Minecraft and things like that, but they don't really understand what it is that they're doing with that. So we introduce concepts like an algorithm, a program, a function, using analog means. So they do sort of arts and crafts things with beads. They get a chance to do things. We have a little wooden robot called Cubetto that we can code with. They get to pretend that they're robots themselves, and they have to come up with the instructions and have another one of their classmates come in and be the robot and try and build a cup structure, for example. So they're getting these this vocabulary and these concepts brought to them in a really hands-on way that doesn't actually have anything to do with the computer.
Yeah.
And this particular week that we just did, we've had 7 young boys joining it, and they've been having a great time, and I'm exhausted.
I'm sure. But that's so great. It's a new way to think about it. It's like you said, they're used to those electronics, using the computer, using an iPad, using a tablet, or what have you. But doing it in a more practical sense and using that, critical thinking about how this all works. I think that's important.
Yeah, and it's a form of literacy. So, we do as much as we can to improve and introduce literacy. Obviously, reading is the standard, but digital literacy is important, and it's important not just to be able to use machines and computers, but to also understand the language. So
that's great. Another thing that you do here at Cotuit Library, which I absolutely love, is you do a lot of stargazing events, and not just stargazing events. You also have telescopes that you have available for people to check out. So if you're interested in the stars and what's up there, this is the library for you.
Absolutely. We get the Kettleers are very kind in allowing us to come out to Lowell Park when nothing's going on there, from April through October, and we go out once a month and bring our giant telescope, and we often have a person helping us. Jim and Mike are people that help us, and they will bring their telescopes as well, and people get a chance to see the moon. It's amazing what the moon looks like through a telescope, and Saturn and the Jupiter, because you can see 4 of the moons of Jupiter, and people are so awed by that. And it's just a nice night out. Now, unfortunately, last fall, the last 3 months, the weather did not cooperate.
No, it didn't.
But, you know, it's a good way if you decide to come out, take a look at it, and then if you want to borrow the telescope yourself to come on out.
Yeah, I think it's really something. It's to see those celestial objects through a telescope is so different than seeing, you know, a picture of it.
Exactly.
Because it's like you're actually looking at it.
I know.
It's not just a picture that somebody took God knows when. It's you're looking through the eye hole and there it is. It's amazing.
The best one is Saturn. Oh my gosh, it really does have rings.
Right.
Yeah.
Just so amazing. So
Yeah.
it's so wonderful that you do that. Talking about literacy, you know, this is a library, so there's, you know, it is books and reading and things like that. You do story hours as well as your children's librarian does a lot too.
Yeah, so she has 2 story hours that she does in the library, so Tuesday mornings and Wednesday afternoons. And then she goes out once a month to different preschools and also to Angel House and does literacy programs there. So we do a bit of outreach because, you know, a lot of children these days are not at home. They are in preschool because their parents are both working. So this is a way for us to sort of remind parents or, you know, remind the people that the library is around and give them a positive library experience, even if they can't always make it to us like they might have. But we also do have homeschooling parents that bring their kids in for the story hours that are here too.
Oh, that's great.
So, you know, it's a good mix, and we can adapt things if somebody has a, you know, a theme that they're working on that week. We could do story hours that have something to do with that, and they're always followed by a craft as well. So, yeah.
Who doesn't love crafts?
And then this summer reading will be coming up sooner than you can
I know.
believe. And so there'll be a lot. And this year's theme is about music, so there should be some good programs.
That's really fun. I love the summer program, and all the libraries kind of follow the same tone and the same theme. So that's really exciting to hear about. Adult library things like book clubs.
Yes, we have 4 book clubs.
Wow.
Yeah, so I know so it's a busy place.
It is.
We have an adult sketching group that comes in, and you know they sometimes sketch the mother of the children's librarian, which is really great. You know, they sit in here and they do that. We have people that come and play bridge and teach others to play bridge. We've had the mahjong group, and they teach. It's a teaching group, not just a playing group.
Right.
So new people can come and learn about it.
Nice.
We have groups that meet monthly, like the Brain Injury Support Group of Massachusetts meets here monthly basis. So there's all kinds of things like that too. And the Historical Society does their Cotuit Chronicles here. You know, so there's always stuff going on. And I just did want to add that a lot of the little programs that we've been doing, like the coding camp and the Royston Nash Music Appreciation Series that we've been doing, those have been supported by grants. So we've had, you know, great input from the Massachusetts Board of Library Commissioners for the coding, and then the Arts Foundation of Cape Cod and the Mid-Cape Cultural Council. And the Town of Barnstable's Kirkman Fund have been very supportive for some of that programming, this music programming in particular. So
that's wonderful. I think that's great that you had that Royston Nash music program. It was a different, you know, different kind of thing to have at a library, but I mean, libraries aren't just books anymore.
Absolutely not.
That's definitely something you want people to know.
One of our currencies is programs. You know, we put on programs as well as provide reading material and audiovisual material, and of course, 24/7 Wi-Fi.
That's funny. You can come sit out on the step at 2 o'clock in the morning and use the Wi-Fi,
and,
no problem.
You know, we really want to try and make that space a little bit more comfortable, so that when people come and sit in the summer, we're going to try and get something where there's a little bit more comfortable chairs and maybe a work table.
Oh, nice.
Because people do. They come and they sit out there and use the Wi-Fi. So
yeah. You're right next to this lovely park next door.
Oh, yeah.
I mean, the Cotuit Library is kind of in an ideal spot. You can walk to the beach, you can use the park, you can come to the library.
Play on the playground.
Play on the playground.
The church helps us. They let us use their electricity when we do our outdoor movie.
Well, there you go.
Yeah,
it's a really community-based library, which I absolutely love. Antonia, thank you so much for letting us come out here and learn all about the Cotuit Library.
Anytime.
I really appreciate it.
No problem.
My guest today is Antonia Stephens. She's the library director here at the Cotuit Library.